Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Today we're going to be looking at converting measurement units again. The same thing we talked about yesterday, except for yesterday they were just straight conversions. They told us we have 3 pounds, we want to convert it into ounces. Today we're going to be given word problems. These are actually STAAR questions, things you can expect to see on a test, but it's the same exact process. I could tell yesterday when I was looking at the assignment, and I had a lot of kids that weren't doing so well. I don't know if it was because that they chose not to watch my video or if they were choosing to do them in your head. Even though yesterday I said several times that there's going to be the distractor answer. They know you're going to divide when you should have multiplied, or vice versa. Make sure that you take the time and set up the proportion before you solve it, guys. Please set it up. If you're having trouble setting up the proportion, please join me on Zoom and I can help you. It's too easy of a skill to get these questions wrong because you're doing them in your head, okay? So let's get started. Number 1, a scientist, and of course this is available to print if you're at home, along with your STAAR chart. It's all on your agenda, and there's also I just snipped the STAAR chart. So you don't have to actually print it, you don't have to download it. You can actually view this at the bottom of your agenda underneath the video. So that's available to you to just view instead of download. Number 1, a scientist used 786 milliliters of liquid for an experiment. How many liters of the liquid did he use for this experiment? So we need to convert the 786 milliliters. We want to know how much that is in liters. So that's what we're converting between, milliliters and liters. Remember yesterday I said the first thing we must do is go to our chart and determine or see how many milliliters are in a liter. So we've got right here, we have 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So I'm going to write that down. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. It's okay that milliliters were first here, but the chart said liters. As long as they have the 2 words that we're converting, that's all we need in the same line. All right, now my next step is going to be to write that as a fraction. So 1 over 1,000. Don't forget your labels. 1 was a liter, 1,000 was a milliliter. And then the number in the problem was 786 milliliters. So I'm going to match that up with milliliters at the bottom. And it goes here. And my X goes there. Okay, now I'm just going to cross multiply and divide to solve. So I'm going to cross multiply here. I get 786 times 1 is 786. And then we're going to divide by 1,000. Okay, dividing by 1,000, I know that 1,000 can't go into 7. Sorry, trying to make it right easy. I know it can't go into 7, no it can't go into 78, can't go into 786, so I'm going to put a decimal and a 0, bring the decimal up. Alright, I know that 1,000 goes into 7,867 times, which is 7,000. Oh, I might run out of space. Subtract. I got to add another 0. 1,000 goes into 8,600 8 times, because that's 8,000. Get a remainder of 600, add another 0. Sorry, it's kind of cutting off. And then 1,000 goes into 6,000 6 times. And you get a remainder of 0. You're done all the way across. So my answer is 0.786, which is C. Don't get it confused with D. The decimal came first, and then the 7. This had a decimal and then a 0. So the correct answer was C. You also can recognize that dividing by 1,000, if you remember when we were changing decimals and percents to decimals, dividing by 1,000 is the same thing as moving the decimal 3 times to the left. Dividing is moving the decimal backwards. So if I have my decimal here to start off with, because whole number decimals go at the back, and then if I move it 3 times, because I'm dividing by 1,000, there's 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, it ends up 0.786. If this was 100, I would have moved it twice, and it would end up here. If I was dividing by 10, it would move 1 time, because it goes off the number of zeros. And dividing moves your decimal backwards. All right, we're actually going to skip number 2 for now. That's one I'm going to have you do here in a minute on your own and see how you do on it. So we're going to skip to number 3. It says Mrs. Torres is mailing a package that weighs 12.5 pounds. Okay, we have 12.5 pounds. The post office charges by the ounce to mail a package. How much does the package weigh in ounces? So we need to take the 12.5 lbs, pounds. I don't understand why that's lbs. I need to Google it because I really don't know. 12.5 pounds equal blank. We're converting into ounces, OZ. And why does that have Z instead? There's no Z. Okay, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked. So we need to convert that. We need to go to our chart and see how many pounds are how many ounces. So I have 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So I'm going to write that down. 1 lb equals 16 ounces. Of course, I'm going to write that as a fraction. 1 over 16. Put my label. And then this number was 12.5 pounds. Pounds were at the top, so I'm going to put 12.5 at the top, and my X goes here. Now I can cross multiply, and then I have to divide by 1, but dividing by 1 is really pointless, so all I have to do is cross multiply. So 12.5 times 16. All right, let's take it slow because y'all get confused by this multi-digit multiplication. Forget the decimals even there. We're going to do 6 times 5, straight up, we get 30, carry the 3. That's 12 plus 3, 13, 14, 15, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. Cross those off. Cross off the 6 because I'm done. Put a placeholder before you multiply by the 1. Now we're going to go back and do 1 times 5, 1 times 2, and 1 times 1. Now I can add everything up. 0, 10, 10, and 2. And then don't forget we have a decimal. So because there's only 1, I could bring it down. But we also need to pay attention to how many numbers are after the decimal. There's only 1. So start at the back and move it 1 time to get 200.0. So I don't really need that 0.0 anymore. So it's just 200. 200 ounces. All right, guys, just like yesterday, it's just setting up that proportion. Remember, your first ratio comes from your chart. Write it as a fraction. Don't forget your labels. Labels make it easier to place that last number to know where it goes. If it was ounces, I would have put it on the bottom, but because it was pounds, I put it at the top. All right, and then cross multiply and divide to solve. I want y'all to do number 2 on your own, so go ahead and pause the video, please. And set up this proportion and solve it and see what you get as an answer. And then we'll unpause here in a second, or unpause whenever you're done, and then we'll see if you got it right. All right, so the second one, it says a warehouse floor has a perimeter of 6,615 feet. The fact that they told you perimeter here is just to kind of confuse you and think you need to do something else with it. They gave you the perimeter, and it says, what is this perimeter in yards? So all you have to do is convert that into yards. You don't have to, add anything up. You don't have to do whatever. It's just converting the feet into yards. So 6,615 feet. We want to know how many yards that is. So we're going to start off by looking at our chart for feet in yards. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Don't get confused because the feet come first here. That was inches, not yards. So 1 yard equals 3 feet. I'm going to write that down. 1 yard equals 3 feet. I'm going to write that as a fraction. 1 over 3. Don't forget your label. 1 yard, 3 feet. And then that really big number, 6,615 feet, goes at the bottom because it represented feet. So 1 yard, 3 feet. This number was feet, so we put it at the bottom of my ratio. Then X goes here. All right, so we're going to cross multiply. That's easy. 6,615 times 1 is 6,615. And then we're going to divide by that third number, which is 3. Remember to use your multiplication chart if that's something you need. This time we're dividing by 3, so you'll be using your 3 column to help you. You also could just write the multiples of 3 here, like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. You could just write them down so you could refer to them. All right, 3 goes into 6. Here's 6, 1, 2, 2 times. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down your next number. 3 goes into 6, again, 2 times, which is 6. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down your 1. Can 3 go into 1? Nope, it's too big, so you put a 0. And then bring down your 5. 3 goes into 15. Here's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes 5 times. And we are done. So it is equivalent to 2,205 yards. All right, guys. So that's converting. You are going to have a couple questions. I believe it's 2 questions on your Unit 5 test that you're going to take this week. So this is a very important skill. If you are struggling at all, please contact me on Zoom, guys. Keep it open for the most part of all day except for my lunchtime or my if I have a meeting I have to attend. So if it's not open, try again later. But y'all know I'm here to help in any way I possibly can. If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Y'all have a great day. And guys, we have 4 days till Christmas break. We can make it. Talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.